Hello everyone, my name is Pilk Milk, and today the fix that I'm going to be applying is one with a hair dryer or whatever thing spits out hot air. Although I do have this hair dryer, it usually shorts because it's old, excuse me, but I use a heater. The heater has a more, I guess, of a success rate than it does with this hair dryer, but that's besides the point. Now, the issue that all of these three figures have, this one being Baki Hanma, and Yujiro Hama, both of these being from Storm Collectibles. I think the branch specifically for this, the product line, is Storm Arena. I'm not sure if that's different from Storm Collectibles, but it's by the same people. These two figures are really stiff when it comes to the legs. And if you saw in my previous video, I put lubricant on this one, bike lubricant on this one for this piece right here. And it ain't chirping. It ain't loud. You can hear it here, but again, depends how much lube you use for it to be completely loose, which, it's always according to the user. Now, for today's chopping block, I'm going to be dealing with this Yujiro Hanma. Unfortunately, for the purposes of this video, I've already implemented my own version of fixes for these figures. So, the figure issues are less pronounced than it would be when I first had them. But right now, I'm just going to show you through all the motions of how it is fixing this figure. Now, for this figure specifically, although its legs, unlike Baki, its son, is not that much of a problem, what I did have was this little swivel. The swivel had a bunch of problems, it being too stiff, and unfortunately, I did use the oil again, but for the purposes of this video, hair dryer. Now, the issue specifically that I'm going to be fixing is none, but I'll show you what you should be doing with your own figure when it comes to this method. Now, hair dryer moment, right? You connected, you know how to use a hair dryer or a heater, doesn't really matter. Point being is that you're going to be shooting it directly to the problem area. Let's say the problem area is this ball, swivel, whatever hook thing right here, this ball piece right here, is the problem where it's too stiff, it does a lot of creaking, maybe something like that if you can hear it. But it does a lot of creaking, that's the problem. Tend to shoot a bunch of hard air to it. Now, since this thing is going to be heating up, and this figure specifically has that type of soft plastic that's easy to like move around, and it feels kind of like leather or whatever, weird, smooth but malleable thing that it could be, is the distance of how far away your hair dryer is going to be will really depend, or even how much heat this thing can take. Now, I think for this type of material specifically, it could take up a lot of heat. Since it's already stretchy, it could just stretch even more. All the molecules expanding from it being heated up can just continue to expand without much of an issue. But again, you shouldn't burn the figure per se, simply because it could melt, it could crack, air, or it could have a completely different issue that unfortunately this website does not have at this moment. But yeah, so you're going to be shooting the hot air from a distance. I guess from when I tried to fix this figure first, when I used the hair dryer method first, was about, kind of far away, kind of like this. I don't know if it's easy or hard to tell how far that is, but yeah, something like this. Now, I shot it for about, let's just say, 5 minutes. The reason I have a bit of a issue when it comes to how long you're going to be shooting this hot air is because, again, it really does depend on the figure. For instance, this figure can take up more heat, or it could be the issue of it taking even longer for it to heat up, causing not much to expand nor anything to really happen until you're close to burning it, where now it starts making less noise, it's even more malleable, you can move it around, but now you're even closer to the sun of it being, warping of some sort of way. Now, when it comes to the hair dryer, you heat it up and move it around a bit. At that point, everything should expand at least a little bit. You start moving around, making sure that, everything is being molded by its own self in there, which is great, which is perfect. Now, to check if your fix worked, you can obviously just use your ears to hear if it's any creaking or any annoying sounds, which if I shut up for a bit, you can maybe hear that this one does have a little bit of one. But yeah, you'll hear it, you'll decide if this amount of looseness is correct or appropriate, or if you want to try it again. Now, when it comes to constantly doing it, don't freeze this thing immediately. And what I mean, although I exaggerate of don't freeze it, don't cool it too quickly. Let's go with that. Since there's, again, depending on the type of plastic or type of material, it could crack, it could warp, or something worse, right? But yeah, that's how you use the hairdryer. Just shoot it for a little bit. Make sure, check every, let's just say, like 10 seconds of you heating it up. And then try again, check, try again, check, try again, and then check. Once you feel like this figure moves exactly how you want it to be, that's when you start lowering the usage of the hairdryer until you fully check that the issue is completely gone. Which in this case, for my figure of Yujiro Hanma, it's fine as it is. So yeah, that's how you use the hairdryer.